happy Halloween, because it's definitely Halloween. That's when I am posting this, October 31st, just like I said I would. The lanterns are out. I just recently saw the new shitty Halloween movie, and it's definitely October 31st and not the beginning of 2023. And I am definitely not an unreliable narrator. But anyway, now I'm just making the tinfoil base, covering it with clay to make the form. So let's turn our minds back to, when shit was spooky. So right now I am making a very, very special moth that had all of the women, all the PTA moms, YMCA moms, every one of them just fucking shitting their pants trying to figure out if this thing was real or not, because apparently this video went viral on Facebook, and then everyone found out that yes, it is real. No, it is not in America. Where is it? You guessed it, it is in fucking Australia, because that's the only place you can find this weird ass fuckery. But it's fine, it's just a moth anyway, and everyone knows that most moths are basically harmless. It's just the psychological damage is what will get you with this moth. Or at least, to me, that is. Everyone knows, it's kind of implied that I have deep respect for most bugs. All bugs, really. They're just here, they're just chilling. This one, though, this one's a bit of an abomination to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I saw it in real life, I think it would regress. I think it would revert me back to 6th grade. I think it would cause severe psychological damage if I saw this shit in real life. I nearly even decided not to make it. I nearly went with the moth from Silence of the Lambs, the death moth. I was literally gonna call it a day because I was like, this shit is too spooky. I can't bring it into the real world like this, I can't bring it into my world of little fucking jewel beetles and whatever. But I hyped it up so much that when I showed my mom, she was like, it's not even that scary. So I couldn't let my mom call me a pussy, so I had to do it. So here we are. So I made the form. Now I'm making the wings. You would think that I would make a new wing after I fucked up that one, but nah, we just keep it rolling here on my channel. Just hope for the best always and just keep it moving. It is like 2 a.m. when I make these videos, so I'm not really of the sound and forgiving mind that it would take to really try again. So I just keep it pushing, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm making the wings. I don't know why I put so much effort into make these wings, but it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna make a moth again for a while. Moths are like a stupid amount of work, low-key. And they're not even, I just say that because I'm just pissed because I can't get the wings right. I can't get them thin enough, but that's a problem for another day. Whatever. So right now we've gone to the part where I'm making the appendages of this thing, because it's a centipede moth. I know I kept you in suspense for like the entire video, but it's a centipede moth. Its government Christian name is actually the Creatonotos gangus. Creatonotos. Yeah, I said that right. Creatonotos gangus. And I don't know, I think it's fucking scary. But even though it's fucking scary, like all moths or most moths, all the moths that I'm acquainted with, all the moths that I dive up when I see them on the street, they're pretty harmless. They're pretty fucking chill. They're pretty square. This one is just the psychological damage, really. But I found out that the appendages are really just for excreting pheromones. I haven't gotten to the part in the video yet, but they have hair on them. Little wibbly wobblies on them. And apparently it's to attract mates. The little wibbly wobblies on their appendages just excrete a certain pheromone to attract all of the moth bitches, I guess. And it seems, based on the information that I gathered, that the bigger, longer, whatever the appendages, the more pheromones that they can excrete to get all the ladies. So in Moth terms, the longer the appendages, it would be the same as like having a fat cock if you were a human. I don't know. That's just how I interpret the information. I wouldn't quote me if I were you, but anyways. Before it got a little dark in here. Now I am just making the legs. Same method as always. Just making a M shape. Just stabbing them bitches in and hoping for the best. So let's just sit back and watch me do that for a second. I got this air dry clay from my friend Ruby back when it was my birthday because she knew I had this fucking weird ass hobby. So she just got me a bunch of different types of clay and I thought, you know what, this time I'll try out this air dry clay for my legs today. Did not work. I wouldn't recommend air dry clay for something like this. I honestly wouldn't recommend this type of air dry clay for anything really. I don't know enough about air dry clay to tell you whether it's just this brand of clay or if all air dry clay is like this, but I can tell you it was very disappointing. And it started to crack and I was just like, what's the point of air dry clay if when it dries in the air, it cracks? Like, that's just fucking stupid, but it's fine. I ended up glazing it and the glaze kind of helped to, oh, you see, there's a crack. The glaze kind of helped to mask the crack, so it's fine. I just would say that the air dry clay isn't really worth all of the effort that comes with it. But anyways, so I know what you're thinking, Sydney, what are you doing with that paperclip? Well, what I'm doing with that paperclip is it was like 2 a.m. in the night because that's when I make these things in the middle of the night. So I didn't have the correct size of wire that I needed. So instead I just stripped a paperclip and used that. It was a perfect size wire. The only problem is the fatal mistake that I made in this video is that I did not put the wire in before I baked the bug. So if you're out there, if any one of you are there to actually learn and not just to hear me waffle through a video, just know, put the wire in beforehand, because if you put it in afterwards, you will fuck up the face of the bug. It will look like it got its shit rocked, I'll be honest. Which you'll see when we get back to it. It'll come back up, don't you worry. Now we are painting the bug. And, you know, it's scary in the photos, but when I actually got down to the nitty gritty of it, it's kind of a goofy ass looking bug, I'll be honest. Because it has all these bright colors. And it kind of looks like a superhero suit, if you ask me. Hear me out. Because it has the yellow legs, which makes it look like it's wearing tights. And then I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm going to paint the bottom parts of the legs black, which will make it look like it's wearing Gogo boots. And then it has big black eyes, which is making it look like it has on a mask. So it looks kind of like something that Edna Mode would come up with, maybe, but it's probably for the best, if you ask me. Makes it look a little less scary, you know, a little less like an abomination. But I must say, I must harp for like the millionth time that this thing is harmless. So if you see it in real life, don't kill it simply because it's ugly. Because can you imagine if people just did that in real life on a human basis? You wouldn't even have a mom anymore. But for real, this thing did not ask to be born, so don't kill it. In the same way you didn't ask to be born, this thing didn't ask to be born. So don't kill it just because it's there. Because it's literally harmless, even though it's just gross. But back to this little paint job. Let's just enjoy this little paint job for a minute. I should have just left the underside black. You'll see what I mean in a second. You would think I would just leave it here. I would just take the L and move on. But I'm gonna try and add even more to the underside. So very sorry. Very, very sorry about that. I do make up for it by adding these cute little highlights though. One of my favorite creators on YouTube, Dolllightful, she makes these cute doll reforms. She highlights every single fucking part that she can and blushes every single part that she can. Or all of the joints and stuff, she blushes. She makes like human dolls and I make bugs, so I can't put blush anywhere really, but you get the idea. So I just added highlights as I think that looks sick. I think it looks sick. But yes, back to this fucking underbelly. You would think I would just leave it alone. I should have just taken the L and kept it moving, but no, I come back to that underside so many times. You would think we had a bad relationship or something, the way I keep leaving and coming back to it, but it's fine. Okay, so here we are. See what I mean? I tried to put in the thing, but it ended up fucking up the face quite a lot, and I tried to salvage it by super gluing it, but that made it like kind of rough looking. You see how it looks rough? That shit looks rough. And then I kind of ruined the paint job of the eyes. I don't know why I didn't just like go over it with more paint. I chose to go over it with Sharpie. Don't do that. Just go over it with more paint. And then I glazed it. The glaze helped to mask it a little bit, as you can see, but it was just not sturdy. It really was not. And a few weeks later, the antenna even like falls out when I try to take the photos. And I know what you're thinking now, Sydney. Have you reversed back to your child age? Is there something you're not telling us? And to that I say no. I was just walking around the Dollar Tree and thought, what in the world could I use to make these weird little wibbly wobblies? And I came to the idea of using doll hair, which I think that was a good fucking idea. Hey man, I'll pat myself on the back any day. Hey. You seeing that? You see I used doll hair. Yeah. Anyway, so I used doll hair. And I bought 2 dolls, but I only needed one. I didn't even need a full one. I used like maybe like half of the hair on its head. Not bad, not bad. So now I'm just layering it. At first it looks kind of chunky. It does not look good there. Does not look good at all, I'll be honest. Because it's kind of clumpy in places. I kind of ended up getting the hang of it as it went on. And then I started to layer it in parts where it was extra chonky and spacey. And by the end of it, it ended up looking okay. It doesn't look great there. Promise you. I don't know why I chose to show off there. But it gets better. I really, really do. I think it's a great idea. If you make this in real life, I hope you don't. You have some sort of psychological damage if you make this shit in real life. But if you do, the doll hair works. Just make sure to layer it. So yeah, now I'm just, this is the end of the video. I know I always end it when I glaze, but I already glazed it. So this is really the last step. It looks a little like a little crazy, a little bit out there. After I shape it up, like it's gonna look, yeah, it's gonna get lots of the Moth ladies now that it's shaped up, not looking scraggly. But anyways, thank you for watching. Sorry this video came out late. Hopefully I'll do better in the new year, but this is me, your favorite unreliable narrator, so don't get your hopes up. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you for the next one. I appreciate you all.